Hello, everyone.
In the Girls Gabbin. We're getting ready. We got everybody in seat and ready to do our thing. Welcome back to Girls Gabbin. We're glad that you're tuning in again with us. This show, we're going to talk about health, wellness, and fitness. We're going to talk about health, wellness, and fitness, and we have some special guests that are going to share with us about the STEM program, specifically H.D. Woodson Senior High School, which is where I graduated, so I'm excited about it. But we just kind of wanted to get the word out because they have a deadline coming up in February, and we thought education on all levels would be a good thing, so we kind of combined them. I wanted to share a few little things before we get into the interview with Dion and Corey and introduce them. Did you want to say anything first about what happened, what's been going on this week, or?
I just want to say thank you all again for tuning in to Girls Gabbin. Everything, we are so excited about hearing that the furlough has come to an end.
Yes.
Temporarily, but however, seeing most of you getting back to work, it's a very important transition right now.
So I did hear a few people say that it felt like the first day of school because they've been out so long, and they're just like, really excited, like they just got the job kind of thing. And I get it because you've been waiting, and so they're excited for 3 weeks. So hopefully they'll get it together and it won't be another lapse. But our prayers continue to go out to all of the families who are dealing with that. So, but I wanted to, I'll try to do something fun or different because I'm just different like that sometimes. But today is January 27th, right?
Yes, it is.
So I was curious to see if anybody knew what the significance on a fun side of things was of January 7th. Like, what was a national holiday that you celebrate on January 27th? Which you all are going to be happy to hear.
Remind you didn't share this with me, so.
No, I'm not supposed to share it with you.
I'm in on this too, trying to figure it out.
I want to see if what happened on, because Google is my friend, so.
Okay.
But I found out that, and I shouldn't have said that because if my daughter's listening, I always told her that her relationship with Google is very unhealthy because every time you say something to her, she's like, well, wait a minute.
But it is your
Yeah, but I guess I have one too. But today, January 27th, is actually National Chocolate Cake Day.
Oh, okay.
So I bet y'all didn't know that.
We did
even
not.
though I don't know if we were supposed to say that with Mona in the room.
I do have a recipe for German chocolate cake, except a healthy one.
Okay, well, thank you, Mona.
That's healthy, right? Because you're like, excuse me.
Right.
On the healthy
side. We're not discussing desserts today.
Right.
But
and tomorrow is National Bubble Wrap Appreciation Day. So I don't know about y'all, but I was always excited about bubble wrap. Y'all might not want to admit it. Yeah, I think I just don't want to admit it, but I bet you all popped those.
Yeah, we did pop the bubble wrap, but I didn't know there was an appreciation day for that.
There's an appreciation day for everything.
My dog likes to chew bubble wrap. I'll give her some.
Tomorrow. Make sure you do
That is too funny. Keeps her from chewing my stuff.
Oh, well, then maybe we have something there. But not only, so she won't, don't start now, you can't finish though.
Oh, yeah.
Right, she was looking forward to it.
Right. But we wanted to now kind of introduce Dion Brown and Mr. Corey Moore, and we wanted to talk a little bit about STEM. I would actually like you all to, because some people might not know what STEM is. So if you could first kind of explain what STEM stands for, and then explain about H.D. Woodson's program, and in general, what STEM does for our youth, and your deadlines and things, and encourage people to enroll.
Okay, so I'll go first. Again, this is Corey Morris. I work at H.D. Woodson, and at H.D. Woodson we have two STEM academies, but it is a STEM school. It's a lot of stuff that goes around. A lot of people don't know that about our school, but for the last couple of years, we've come on to do a lot of different things to make sure that students know and are aware about what STEM is and how we can help them support them in their future. So STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. The funny thing about that, every time I ask students what that is, some of them know it, but you wouldn't believe, like, especially in a tech-savvy world that we live in now, a lot of people don't know that. So we do have STEM at H.D. Woodson High School. We have two programs, which are engineering and IT, which are really fascinating. We have teachers support. We have industry folks that come in to help us with work-based learning opportunities where they come into the school, and we also go to the work sites to see what the facilities look like, so the kids can kind of have on-hand experience, see professionals, get to know them, and look and see if this is something they really want to get into. And I always tell anybody, any student, family member, whoever, STEM is for everybody. This is the world that we live in these days, and it's kind of like, when I was growing up, you took typing class, and the folks, I didn't take it too seriously, but the folks who didn't take typing class and they didn't take it seriously, everything is typing now, right? So, and they, so now if you're using tech, using apps, and I always tell students that your phone is a computer. You can do everything on your phone that you could do on an actual computer. So if you're not aware of those things, it's more so awareness, making sure that they figure out what they want to do out of life, and it's our job to kind of give them the tools that they need so they can kind of then figure that out and move forward with whatever they want to do. So if that's doing hair, if they want to be in fitness, if they want to be an athlete, there's tech in every facet of life that we live in. And especially for the next 20 years, all those jobs, especially for students of color and women in STEM, are going to be there. They're just waiting for you. And so I would always promote STEM in that sense. I even need to get better in STEM myself and do better in IT. I run the IT Academy there, along with some other my other colleagues that do a wonderful job with bringing awareness to our programs, going out and making sure that students are part of college. We understand every student may not want to go to college, but the career academies that are there are designed to help students kind of figure out what they want to do in life and be good citizens in the world that we live in.
Okay, Corey, you are the director of the
IT Academy.
Okay, and the other part of that is engineering. Okay. Yeah. And how long has the program been up and running at HD?
It's been up and running this is our 4th year, so we have seniors now. Okay. And our seniors have been applying for college. They're starting to get some of their acceptance letters back. We foresee a lot of them getting accepted. We would say at least 85% of our students. 100% of our kids have applied to college, but I would say of those 100, at least 85 really want to go into the field, want to go to college. Okay. Of those students, those ones that want to go into the trade or the career, they've actually looked at IT or engineering as one of the things they may want to get into. Okay.
So Dion, Corey, can you all explain kind of if there's anything specific to the mission at HD Woodson and how many kids you all have enrolled, and just some of the things that they're doing that, get the kids excited about joining and enrolling, and then any due dates and things you all trying to share.
Mission first and after those.
Well, our core mission is to prepare our students for the world that they will be entering after graduation, whether they go to college or directly into a career. Our students are programming, competing in robotics competitions, and doing things that really equip them to enter the workforce upon graduation. There was a time when we graduated where you could go straight into the workforce with no marketable skills and learn everything on the job. We live in a much more competitive world today, and the workplace expects a certain level of competence in almost everything you do. And there are no more clerk typist jobs. There are no more, just basic administrative jobs where you kind of work your way into a position. But our students are getting really good experience interning and having industry visits and participating in other types of work-based learning activities to really know what's out there and focus on a concentration that they would like to pursue after they leave. Most recently, we visit the 3M Innovation Lab in downtown DC. This week, we're going to the Sibley Innovation Hub at Sibley Hospital, which is owned by Johns Hopkins. They have a wonderful facility where they test new ideas on improving the delivery of health care. And they're going to expose our students. We have a series of 2 visits with them where they will expose our students to all the different types of technology that's being used in the hospital and healthcare delivery systems.
That's major.
So they've been to NASA, they go on college trips. During their spring break, they will take a tour, an out-of-state college tour for the whole week, and they've been doing that for every year.
Right.
So these are opportunities that they would not have in a mainstream high school or general comprehensive high school. So by enrolling in the STEM Academy, and we really push this out into the community because they think about H.D. Woodson as a general neighborhood comprehensive school.
Right.
But this is a very unique opportunity in a public school for students to gain this very valuable exposure. And it's the only STEM Academy east of the river in Washington, D.C.
Well, and I wanted to add, Dion actually, she's an alumni of H.D. Woodson,
Right.
and she's the chair of the advisory board for STEM. So can you kind of explain the relationship between the advisory board and the directors there, and how they work in unison? Because they work together all the time on, doing for these the youth in at H.D. Woodson. So just kind of explain how that works, because you all are doing some major things, and you want to expose more students to that. So
Yes, the advisory board works hand in hand with the directors and coordinators at the STEM Academy at H.D. Woodson High School. Our primary goal is to connect the classroom experience with the real world. So we invite industry partners, community advocates, alumni of the school, and other people who have connections to opportunities for us to come in, either participate directly as a member of the board or serve on one of our committees to, again, tap into the vast array of opportunities here in the area. We've been very fortunate at the level of support we've gotten, and a lot of our internships come from either advisory board members directly from their particular places of work or their personal networks. So they've been very valuable in extending the opportunities that our students don't naturally have the exposure to. Most of them come from very modest households, and the old adage rings true, where it's not what you know, it's who you know. And so they don't come from communities and households where their parents can pick up the phone and get them a job. So we try to connect them with people in the community and in industry who can broaden their range of opportunities.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Now you all have enrollment. Can you give them some details on enrollment and what they could do to possibly get enrolled, even if it's not this time around, just for future, reference, because you still want even next year to bring more students in?
So we start our academies as sophomores, and so what we do is we go into when the freshmen come in, they have something called a freshman academy, and so what we try to do is go into our freshman classrooms just to kind of get the kids can kind of get acclimated to high school, and from that, the second semester, we'll go in and start talking to them about what STEM looks like, what is STEM, what is engineering, what is IT, and then from that, they go into our academies the following year. I would say of the students that we that matriculate from the freshman year into our sophomore year, we probably get about 75% of those students who go into the program and actually move through. We have a pretty good retention rate. We also know that it's a career based and it's very rigorous. So we do everything to encourage them, incentivize them, push them, sometimes kind of past what they think their limits are, so that they can see what this field really looks like. We always talk to them about, even though STEM is like a buzzword and it's a thing that we've been talking about for the last couple of years, it's also in a demand. So a lot of those jobs that they're looking at, though that they're out there, it's going to require a lot of training. It's going to require some type of education, and so as things get hard, as with many of our students, they want to give up these days. So we try to incentivize, encourage, push them, and allow them to and nourish that small thing that they feel like they have, to push them through those hard times. Because even when I can remember when I was younger, I had adults, people, support to kind of help me get through those times when it was difficult. They need the same type of support systems in place. So we have a plethora of people within our corner to push them. We have the advisory board, we have alumni, we have teachers support, and we also have ourselves within the academy that help our students kind of get through the STEM, because the science, technology isn't easy. It sounds fun, but it's still difficult. One of those difficult things that we have to work through.
Yeah, it can be really intense. I wanted you all to share just because I'm aware of the mock interviews that you do, and I think it's really cool. And it prepares them for that that is just an excellent idea to me on preparing them to know how it really is to go into an interview, because sometimes you can know all the details, you can know everything, but you get into that interview and you get stuck just because, taking a test and you freeze up. So can you share with them what you all do with the mock interviewing and how that works?
Yes, usually leading up to spring break, we will solicit our alumni and supporters of the program to come to the school over the course of 2 days, and we ensure that each student gets the opportunity to have a mock interview. We do prepare them with guidance on how to prepare for the interview, and it is a shocking experience for them, and quite frankly, it's shocking for a lot of seasoned professionals. So it's good that they get that experience, and I have seen firsthand how some students freeze in the first experience, or they don't take it seriously enough and think they can BS their way through it. I have stopped the interview for some of the students midway, coached them, started over, and seen a remarkable difference just in the course of like 15 or 20 minutes. And that puts them way ahead of the curve, because I know I can say in the 10th and 11th grade, I hadn't even had a job interview yet. So
didn't have a clue how to walk in the door except.
But again, there are students out there in other programs and coming from different types of households where they've been groomed for this since elementary school. So we're helping to improve the playing field that our students will enter.
And I want to piggyback on that. So even when I remember we first did it, our seniors, when they were sophomores, this is our first go around, and those same sophomores, I asked them after the interview, kind of to what Ms. Brown said, what was it like, and even the ones that I felt like may not have done the best, those are the ones that actually did the best, those are the ones that came back and said, I was excited. I was, even when Ms. Brown came back and said, hey, I gave them this type of feedback, and I was thinking that they weren't going to be able to receive it in a certain way, they were more excited about receiving that feedback and going into the next phase of the interview process more confident. So it's definitely one of those things that, my mom was a teacher, so I had it all the time. Like the red, when I used to write papers and she would come out with a red pen, I had to do it all over again. So it was kind of like, I grew up that way, so I was like, I had to write the whole paper over again. But these students don't have that level of critiqueness, and even if they do, they're not willing to kind of go back and fix it in the same realm. But in a situation like this, you can see the outcomes, and then when they go into their real interview, how confident they are, how they can articulate themselves. They're much more prepped than they would if these mock interviews didn't happen.
That's wonderful.
And I'd like to add that in part because of the experience we've given them in the mock interviews, our students have been able to secure some very coveted internships, and that increases the confidence of our industry partners for supporting our program and allowing their employees to participate as mentors, as guest speakers, and other types of supportive roles in our academy. So our students have become pretty much our best ambassadors.
Right. And it encourages other students when they're like, look what they're doing. Let me check that out.
It has had that effect where other students in the school who are not in the STEM Academy have become interested because they've seen the increased poise of their peers.
Right. You can see them grow.
Absolutely.
And they want to be a part of
that. And that encourages me to continue with my service to the Academy, because quite frankly, I don't have a STEM background, and I did not plan to continue as long as I have with the advisory board, but it's rare that you get to see results so immediately in your day-to-day work. So for me, this is kind of instant gratification, seeing students improve in such a short period of time.
That's wonderful.
So how can they get in touch with either the school or what do they need to do to possibly apply, or just encourage people on what they need to do to spread the word so that if not for this year, next year, they know who to contact or what the requirements are, that kind of thing? So
we definitely have an open door policy. We have recruitment things that go on throughout the year. We actually have not open house, but we have a shadow day coming up this week, January 31st. You can contact the school. The phone number is 202-939-2030. You can find information online. And from that, just finding myself or our other colleagues, and then also Ms. Brown, who's here. But it's always an open door policy. Coming into the room, I've always stopped and made myself available for folks who want to be a part of our program, who want to find out about the school. So we always have people coming in, so I'm always like there and ready for that type of introduction to our programs.
Yeah, we also have a website, www.hdwoodson.org. And if anyone has specific questions or would like further information, they can email us at hdwstem, that's HDWSTEM, @gmail.com.
Okay.
And they can email me at Corey, KOREY.Morris@dc.gov.
Wonderful. I thank you all for coming on. I just think it's important for us to give back to our youth at every opportunity we have. And this is good information, and I'm hoping that it grows and grows and grows. I know that it's grown even over the last couple of years, and that's enough for me to want to push this out even more. I appreciate you all just sharing, because it's not just, even though this is DC schools, STEM on some level operates kind of the same way. So
yes, thanks for having us, and that's absolutely right. We operate under the auspices of NAF, which is a national nonprofit which provides technical support and guidance for operating STEM academies. And there are other schools in the DC metropolitan area that have NAF STEM academies in them. So this is just one local franchise, if you will, of a NAF academy or NAF Career Academy. But listeners who are in Maryland and Virginia can look in their school systems and identify schools that have NAF Career Academies.
Right, because this helped for people who don't even know. I'm sure there are a lot of people. It wasn't a STEM academy when we went, so this is brand new information. So even some of the people who went there, alumni, may not realize what's going on in our own school, and reach back to your alumni because these kids need you. So there might be a program going on in your school that you could help with. And just making a phone call would, actually lift the youth up into something, a new job, something.
Absolutely.
There's some major connections in this area. All we got to do is just reach back. So, thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much.
So you all are going to
really
hang with us for a little bit.
Yep.
Okay.
We're going to get some education on how to
some health and
get
fitness.
this tempo right.
Use that too.
Yep.
Well, we want to introduce Mona. Is it Mona or Ramona? Which one do you? Ramona.
That's my name, but
Yes.
they call me Mona.
Miss Mona of Living Fit.
Yes.
Correct. Mona is a personal trainer, but you're also a wellness and health fitness all together.
Yes.
So you're giving an opportunity to get not only your body right, but your health right.
Right.
And we're going to allow you to just go ahead and share with us some of your basic knowledge on how
Oh man. Oh
get this
gosh.
temple in order
Now, let me get
from
y'all
the
pen and
inside and
pad.
out.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, from inside and out.
I need a lot of
Jack of all
lessons.
trades. I've been in the fitness industry for over, close to 25 years.
Wow.
And it started with my mom. She's never owned a gym membership, but she had every equipment in the house. She was juicing before it became a fad. And so, growing up, I'd always see her. So she was literally my role model, and she always encouraged fitness, and it kind of piqued my interest. So as time go on, I said, you know what, this is becoming, my livelihood. I obviously got really passionate about fitness, so I became an instructor in 1999, over 20 years ago, and I enjoy getting in shape, and I entered some bodybuilding shows.
Yes, you have.
That year as well. So, that just wears the groundwork, and being in the health industry, worked in a Washington Hospital Center for 18 years, being in the background in health and wellness, seeing how health or eating or exercise, lack of that.
Right.
Really, when people would come in to get the x-rays done, or I'd go to the OR to be in a, angio case where they have to open up an artery on someone, all that is what, the ripple effect of where I am. So being in the health industry for 18 years, in the fitness, it's a little more than just me training. It's truly my profession is X-ray, but my passion is fitness.
Okay.
And I realized
Fantastic.
even though I was training people, they didn't know how to eat. So I created my first book, Living for the 21-Day Transformation, because I would train clients and they were really good at working out. There's gyms every 5 miles radius to each other. We know how to work out.
Right.
However, you know, 80% of our eating, we have no idea.
Absolutely.
It's killing us regardless of our workout. I teach aerobics. I've been teaching when it was ballets back in the day for over 20 years.
Oh, wow.
And I saw all the same faces. Yeah, when it was just Spa Lady. And,
Right,
you know,
Spa Lady
when
and Ballet.
was Hamilton and
Telling some age.
yes, I mean, you know, and I've seen the same people take all the classes, step this, now it's Zumba, whatever the next fad is, they were in it, and their bodies didn't change. And I'm like, if 80% is what you eat, why aren't we doing the majority, which is our eating?
Absolutely.
And I said, you know, I want to do something about it. Between working in the health industry and seeing how our eating impact, you know, that really piqued my interest to create a book because I said, you know, I enjoyed and doing bodybuilding, of course, for over 20 years. I understood food and fitness. I understood how, because I've won a lot of, you know, I've been blessed to win a lot of shows and be a pro, become the pro. So I understood what food and fitness, when the two of them come together, they complement. It's not one without the other.
Right.
And it's not in a pill, it's not in a drink. It's literally you are what you eat. So I created the first book, which is one of 3, Living for the 21-Day Transformation. And I felt like the average person needed a blueprint. And so I can start you from day 1 through day 21.
We do.
We
do.
That would be me.
We definitely do.
And it's all my recipes because right now my studio, I train people all day long. And of course, my one I have, it's called a Summer Body Challenge, where I train you and I cook for the clients as well. So I was rushing to prep food for my clients before I got here. But that particular challenge, it's incredible because I am teaching you how to eat and change your mindset as well as train you. So with that said, people get incredible results. So this book is based on that. It has all my incredible recipes. I take you from day 1 to day 21 on the Living Fit. But then the other one, Mona Skinny Cookbook, is my newest. The book signing is February 9th. And I felt the need to come up with this because this has great recipes, and it's really, and a lot of people that's done this, hundreds of people, they've done it, and they've seen like 10 plus pounds in 21 days when they simply follow this. But people said, well, I'm a vegetarian, or what is their desserts? So people were really interested in, okay, my sweet tooth, and I have a sweet tooth, but I know, you know, there's some consequences to eating the sugar and the fats. So I created, and for the chocolate day, I created a
German chocolate cake.
German chocolate.
We
No sugar, no butter, no flour. Sorry. It's the German chocolate cake. No flour, no sugar, no butter. And it's right there for the viewers. And let me tell you something. When you have a piece of this dessert, you don't have to worry about your waistline. It's healthy fats. It's healthy fiber. You'll probably use the bath more than anything else. So again, people felt the need to quench that sweet tooth. So I created this book because it's friendly for the person that doesn't eat meat or chicken. There's tofu recipes, meatless recipes, as well as the desserts. You know, so like I said, there's no sugar, no butter, no flour in those desserts. So
eat right, exercise,
and have your
treats.
desserts.
Absolutely. So I'm trying to create some normalcy in your life where being on a diet doesn't feel like a chore.
Right.
Because when it feels like salad, I personally don't want to eat a salad every day.
No.
Right.
I want to have some normalcy, and unfortunately, and I don't want to dumb down the keto diet, but those kind of diet fasts, they're short-lived because it's not realistic.
Okay.
So when you tell me I can have a slice of bread or some potato or some normalcy, that will become more of a lifestyle more than a fad.
Right.
You know, so I'm trying to get people, you know,
Make
in
it a
my
lifestyle.
yes.
Okay.
So really, really trying to introduce a new concept of being healthy and not feel like it's a chore, because trust me, I do this all day long, every day. It's what I do full time. And you see people, it's like they're going to the electric chair because they got to eat another salad, you know. So
And that's true. Because they get in the habit of thinking that salad is the only thing that can help you lose your weight.
right,
And that's not the answer to it. So
Right.
that blueprint is something I definitely need to follow.
yeah.
The 21 days to get fit. And I heard you over there, Corey, talking about they can't do it, right?
I think they can do it.
Remember
it's
we
hard.
went on
Yeah,
to get right on the food part.
yeah, it's mental. That's all.
So
It
let me
is.
ask
It
you,
is.
That's all
What
it
would,
is.
It is mental.
what would be your suggestion on, I know because it's January and everybody's
Yes.
starting these new, you know, whether it's a diet or new exercise plan or whatever it is, and, you know, I'm guilty of it as well, but what are some good things to kind of, because I think sometimes people just go too far in the beginning, like they're
Right.
trying to do way too much.
Right.
I'm guilty. What would be some things to kind of slow people into a regular routine of exercise? I think sometimes people are guilty of trying to go straight to the gym. They have this whole workout
Yeah.
plan,
Okay.
and they're trying to do it for 45 minutes. It's like, you haven't been working out for 5 minutes, and now we're going to 45. So do you have any kind of tips on where to start,
Well,
even with the eating?
Right. Well, Rome definitely wasn't built in a day.
Right.
And I even tell my client, this is not a quick fix. This is a journey. And I like to encourage people to embrace that journey, because you'll appreciate it when you get to that, you know, ultimate goal. If you haven't worked out in years, I don't suggest you go and take 2 classes in one day and then, you know, baby steps. If you haven't worked out, I said just start moving. You know, take a nice walk on a treadmill. Just move.
Right.
You know, don't go take a boot camp class, you know, or you take those extreme HIIT classes,
Right.
and then, you know, the next day you can't
can't
move.
move.
Or you
Exactly.
hurt. You know, I've seen it, and you
Oh,
definitely
really?
can't move after that.
Right.
So, you know, baby steps is where, I mean, it's a good place to start. And I know it sounds very, you know, like that's not enough though. It's better than what you were doing nothing.
Right.
You know? So, you know, baby steps. And I tell people just to, you know, just if it starts feeling too comfortable, just increase it.
Right.
And a walk can simply mean you may not be able to run, but if you get some hand weights, that'll increase your intensity.
Okay.
You know, to your walk.
Okay.
I said if you're eating bad, just cut out one bad food, whatever that is a day, and the next week do better, you know, or even the half of the portion. But no, if you want to get ready for a wedding in 3 weeks, of course this book
There you go.
is a good blueprint.
Oh, okay. I have a book for that. Okay.
Yes.
Like
But
I said, I need
you
to
know,
take
folks
that
come
with
to me
me.
like, I'm going on this cruise. I need you to. No, and I said, I need you to. Just let's take it down. You know, there's no quick fixes, and quick fixes is not life. It doesn't last, because if you did a all salad diet, or back in the day they used to call it the master cleanse with the cayenne and maple
Oh,
bee
right.
syrup.
Right.
I mean, like, that's not practical. Your fat cells never went anywhere. They're just dormant, waiting for you to eat again.
Exactly.
So what happens is when you starve your body, and I try to give my clients a visual. Again, I'm not dumping down on keto diets or the intermittent fast. It's the new fads, and nobody really know why they're doing it. They just do because everybody's doing it. So when you go to sleep, your body is resting. You break it with breakfast. It is the first meal. You're breaking the fast. When you starve yourself, your body needs food, and it's going to find fuel, and it's not from your fat. Don't get it mistaken. You know, I've taken x-ray classes, massage. I understand how muscles work. So your fat cells didn't go anywhere because you went and starved or intermittent fast. It's just dormant. And you need energy. You need carbohydrates to blink, your heart to beat, your oxygen, your organs to move. So what happened is your body's like, hello, we're going to eat? I mean,
Right.
you're not eating. It doesn't mean we don't need a function.
Right.
So to do its performance, it's going to find food. And
Right.
it goes in and it feeds on your own muscle. So it goes in and it eats away your body to survival mode. It eats, and you don't ever want to lose
is
muscle
interesting.
cell. Muscle burn fat. Now, if the little muscle you have is helping you to burn the fat, and now you're starving because it's an intermittent fast and it works, as somebody said it works, the minute you get off that, you're going to gain that weight back
Yeah.
and then some. Because your fat cells didn't disappear because you decide to starve yourself.
Right.
That muscle, that your body just went and looked for fuel by eating off the muscle cells. So now you're losing muscle which burn fat.
Right.
You never want to do that. So breakfast, you don't want to skip it. Just have something,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
I
Which
would
makes
like
sense.
I would like to know. You mentioned that you won some.
Bodybuilding
Yeah,
championships.
I'm
Yes,
kinda,
ma'am.
Not that I'm a long
I get
way from
people
something
ready.
like that.
I tell folks.
You want to get in the process?
No.
Work a little bit.
Look, I know my limits. Okay, so but I'm just because that is fascinating.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
share a little bit about how you got into it and what you won.
Oh wow! Oh my gosh! I
mean,
feel
I wanna
old every
know,
time I
inquire
start.
mind.
You know. Again, I became in love with fitness. I remember I was really into the step classes, and that was over 25 years ago. And I decided one day we had an instructor, a sub. I wasn't teaching then. I was an instructor then. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's awful. And so I'm like, where's the regular instructor? This is ridiculous. We pay her money, we can't get a good class. You know, I was in my 20s. So, and the manager, she said, you know what? It's not easy to get up there and teach a class. So I said, all you do is jump around and teach
So you saw a
classes.
challenge.
Yes.
There you go.
And so she challenged me, and I respect all instructors because it's not, I mean, now I do it like it's in my sleep because
Right.
I'm
Because
teaching
you're
over
doing
20
it.
years later. But I really developed a passion for fitness, you know. And after that, a friend of mine, he said, you should do a show. And I said, are you serious? I wouldn't even know where to start. And this was back in 1999 when I started. And I did. I was very green. It was like a fish out of water. But my first show taught me the rest. It was my first 5th place. And I said I'd never get another 5th place.
There you go.
I wasn't being arrogant.
There
I
you
just
go.
said, you know what? I'm going to do better. And so I learned, and I've been blessed that I've gotten 1st place, and every time I
Wow.
compete,
There you
I
go.
win money. So
Congratulations.
it really,
Money.
yeah, that helps. That's
Right.
And
that's a
look
great
good.
incentive.
You get money
So,
and you look good. So.
you know, it really encouraged. And anytime I feel like I need a tweak, I just do a show. And you know, to say anybody can do a show. Let me share with you. One of my clients, she just wanted to get ready for her wedding, and then she enjoyed her body look, and she's like,
Wow.
I think we should do a show. She did a show, her first show this past year, and won 1st place.
Wow.
So all she wanted to do is lose some weight for her wedding.
So you trying
And,
to change
Awesome.
anybody.
Wait a minute. Yes, ma'am. Anybody
Yes.
can do
No,
it.
I'm still gonna fall back. Okay.
Lots of hard work though. Don't be fooled.
But let me
Baby
say
steps.
this. Mona mentioned how she started out with a passion by her mom. You have to see her mom. She's here, by the way. Her mom looks so young. Looks so great.
When you said 25
Oh
years,
my
I'm thinking,
God.
well, you
Well,
couldn't
I
be
have
too
a
far
birthday
over.
in 2 months. I'll be 47. So.
Wow.
You're still young.
Oh
You're still
my God.
young.
Some
Yes.
days I wonder.
I would have
So-
never guessed.
Well, thank
Only because you
God
told
be the
me,
glory.
right?
It's His grace.
Yes. Okay. I am. Let them know how they can get your
Absolutely.
books and how to find you
Sure.
on Facebook and everywhere.
Yeah, definitely Living Fit, LIVNFIT by Ramona, ROMONA.com is my website. Mona Skinny Cookbook. Again, if they go to my website, they'll find that's the newest one.
Okay.
It's diabetic friendly, low glycemic, meaning good carbs in there.
Okay.
If you want healthy desserts, you definitely have that. But Living Fit, the 21-day transformation,
mine today.
is the blueprint. It's definitely the blueprint if you want a guide with great recipes from day 1 to day 21. It's friendly for the whole household if you want to prepare. I want to tell you what other folks have said, and they said, well, I prepared it for my whole house, and they enjoyed it. So I'm really glad when I hear that. So the
Good.
husband is not
Good.
like, what is this? You
Right.
know.
Yeah.
It's a good guide, and hopefully my dream is to get our world healthier one person at a time.
That's
so
it.
that's my
That's a
motive.
good one.
Building stronger bodies for the kingdom.
Where's your book signing going to be?
The book signing is going to be at the Moving Center in Largo.
Okay.
I
think Adrienne is on.
Adrienne.
I know she popped in.
Yes,
She
her
was
moving
like,
center. She was one of my clients. I got her ready for her wedding.
Nice.
Yes, so
I think she's on here listening, so I think that is her facility.
Yeah, that is
so.
her facility.
Okay. And what is it called again?
It's the Moving Training Center in Largo.
Largo. Okay.
Yeah, and it's February 9th. I'll have recipes from my cookbook. Come out, enjoy it.
What time?
It's going to be from 12 to 2
Okay.
on the 9th.
Okay.
And we'll
February
get
9th.
the information and share
Yes, we
it on
definitely
the thread for either Andrea's Live or mine, or even our Girls Gabbin.
On
We'll
Girls
put it on
Gabbin.
here. I had, and you all might have some questions. Please feel free to
Please
ask.
feel free.
I want to ask a little question since I'm over for the over 50 crew.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, we
So
have
young.
needs, okay? I'm sure some of us can relate with lots. For those, I noticed that,
Yeah.
sometimes there's a lot of aches and pains.
Yeah.
And it's not from that I worked out yesterday. I
Right.
promise you, that's not what.
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out how do you get your body, because it's almost like I feel like
Yeah.
How do you get
I just
motivated?
I just feel like my body got hit by a Mack truck before I'm even getting out the bed sometimes.
Right.
Just my, the aches and the pains. Is that just age, or is it?
Well, it's a couple things going on. It's aging because I feel it too. It's
Okay.
sometimes not just from
So
the
not
working
all
out.
crazy, okay.
Over the years, our body is aging.
Mm-hmm.
I look at my hair, I'm getting a couple gray hairs, so it tells me. So the thing is that we can't see our internal organs, but if you can see, it's aging as well.
Okay.
And what happened is over the years, our ligaments, tendons become inflamed.
Mm-hmm.
And our food doesn't help a lot because a lot of times, depending on what you're eating, you can create a lot of inflammation in your body. And a lot of times, or if you don't have a lot of live foods, we're almost treating our bodies like dump trucks.
Okay.
So if I'm not kidding you, if you decide to start eating healthy and subtract the sugars, simple sugars, you'll see a huge difference. But a lot of those simple sugars create so much inflammation, and it could be the very reason you're feeling like that.
Right.
Well, and I'll tell you, because I think I've shared before, but I had an issue with acid reflux, and so I kind of cut down on eating, period, really at one point. And I lost a lot of weight, maybe like 50 pounds or so, but I did change my whole eating habits, so I didn't eat meat.
Right.
I didn't eat.
You're eating cleaner.
I didn't eat anything.
Wow.
And I had to learn how to eat. So I felt the feeling of cleansing your entire body, and it can be a painful experience. Without sharing too much, it was a painful experience, but I did feel
Different.
so much better. But then because of the fear is why I didn't eat that stuff, because it was acid reflux, scared to choke on something. But I found my way back around,
Right.
things,
Right.
and then found the way too. So while other people were losing, I was picking it up for them. So I'm trying to get back into, because it is a mindset, and I lost that motivation to just do right, because your body actually, after I stopped eating, your taste buds changed,
Yes,
your
absolutely.
stomach shrunk,
Yes.
and all of those things.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, I thought that something was wrong because I couldn't eat more than what was on a small plate.
You retrained yourself.
And actually, that was the way it's supposed to be. And I think
Absolutely.
we don't realize how much our stomach stretches.
Yeah.
We force it into some flips and cartwheels and all kinds of stuff. But that helps. Because and water, can you explain? Because
you don't want to drink water.
I'm such a bad water drinker, but I mean, just to encourage the viewers.
Well, I'm a trainer, and I'm trying to get better with the water. I'll be transparent.
It's
it has
okay.
no taste, so but unfortunately for some, because they don't like water, but water is the best laxative.
Okay.
It's if you start increasing it, you'll probably see your pain. Your pain reduces as well, the inflammation, because it's a natural flush. It will flush you. Our bodies are made up of, the majority of our body is water.
Right.
So just a simple visual is a fish. Fish lives in water.
Right.
Have you ever taken a fish out and put it on land? It'll do this and then
Right.
it'll die.
Right.
Or organs are surrounded by water. So when the doctor say you need to hydrate, it's getting dry. There's no water around our organs.
Okay.
So if it's like taking that fish out of water, like if you go running and you're started to get kind of parched in the mouth because it's dry, your organs are not there. It needs to be saturated in water, so hydrated. So when you decrease your water intake, which is not 8 glasses a day, but half your body weight,
Yes.
that's the
Yeah,
correct
that's a-
amount. Half
thank
your
you.
body. not
Okay,
8
so
glasses.
wait a
Because
minute.
that theory has
We've been
always
saying
been.
that it's not 8.
So let me get this clear, because I know some of you with this 8 glasses and y'all stuck there, but since we all weigh
Wait.
differently, because I know once I found out it was half your body, I was like, wait a minute,
Now, how much
that's
water
a
is
lot
that?
of water.
It's not a
So
lot.
it's really,
half your body.
yeah, because it's different
It's-
for different
yeah.
people. So if you're thinking 8
Yeah.
glasses, but you may be a
Yeah.
you know heavier set person, that's not enough
That's
to
not enough
really
to
cleanse
hydrate your body.
Okay, okay, yeah, that's
So,
because
yeah,
I
that
was going to
water-
ask that if it's really half your
No,
body weight.
it's half your body weight.
Okay.
So water is the best laxative. It's the best all the way around. I mean, hydrating your body, cleansing the body, getting rid of inflammation. I remember one time I spoke with an acupuncturist. She said, before you come to me, because I think I had a pain, because, all the lifting, she said, drink water first before you come and spend money and see me. And she's an acupuncturist.
I actually heard that about if you get cramps in your foot and things like
Right.
that if that happens a lot, it may be your intake on water. So
Dehydration.
okay,
That water is so
that's
crucial.
Good information.
Very, very crucial.
Yes,
So,
thank you.
and don't be afraid to get back on track. Hopefully this.
She's saying,
You
come on
talking
out to her
about
class.
that
Come on out.
I felt like she was pushing me.
Right,
into
come on. She got one of your
to
classes.
lift a little weight or something. You know?
What day do you offer
Yes.
classes?
Yes.
Well, I do one-on-one.
Okay.
I'm located right on Central Avenue. My studio's right there. So this is what I do all day long for the past
Okay.
8 years full time. Like I said, I've been doing it for 20 years with full time. And of course, depending on if you want to look good naked or on stage, I can get you ready for one or the other.
I just want to get period.
All
So
right, I'm mad at you.
One or the other.
thank you so much, Mona.
Yes, thank you.
Thank
This was
you
good
so
information.
much. Yes.
Did you all have any questions? You ready to work out? So should we start?
Are you
up?
already doing that? Well,
I'm just gonna eat right.
Majority of
We're
us.
very
I'm
transparent
active.
in here.
I'm very active, so, yeah,
The hardest
Yeah,
part.
Yeah,
if,
sure.
if you were to speak to our STEM students,
Sure.
what would be some of the technology you could introduce to them that they could focus on in their studies?
I'm assuming mental, exercise helps. It's, our body gives off endorphins, releases stress. And even the kids today are stressed because they're got this phone all day long. I would implement some fun things for them to do so that way they can start moving. I train even teenagers as well. So when a parent brings their teenage, child, I'll implement something fun that's not boring, that's not typical, like a rebounder. I have rebounders. That just simply jumping up and down will cleanse the lymphatic system and literally drain some things. So just some things just to help them start moving, because they definitely need it, even at their age. They definitely need it because, like I said, our body gives off endorphins. And when it's not giving off, we get fatigue. Even kids do, So.
Do you have any apps that you recommend to your clients or use in your own personal fitness pursuits?
I think because I'm a one-on-one person, there's so many different apps depending on what exactly it is your needs are. Do you want, in terms of muscle or cardiovascular, there's running apps to help you get on a treadmill and help you motivate you on the treadmill, or if you want to lift. So there's so many different ones. Nike has apps. If you want to go running, it'll be like, okay, let's speed up or something like that. If there one fitness app, so there's so many different. It really depends what your interest is.
So maybe we can make some connections with,
Absolutely.
you know, I don't know, sharing information
Information about
on,
health
I don't know, technology and fitness and how that could, you know, turn into something. I don't know. So
Well, you know, our fitness, or I like to say our health is definitely our wealth. Because we can have a lot of money, but it doesn't matter. So it plays a part in so many different facets of life.
Right.
You know, our president needs to get probably. Maybe you'll, okay,
You're
let
gonna
me
leave
take
that comment to
off.
yourself.
Yes. But in all different facets of life, we need. I mean, fitness plays a part. Plays a part for sanity. You know, reduce stresses. So many different things besides just looking good.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, it
my
does.
clients. You know, my age group are between the ages of 45 and 73.
Wow.
And the fact that when they come, my 73-year-old client, when I said Miss Mary, she's just phenomenal. She's just awesome. And she said, Ramona, I was on so many medications. This is Mary when she lost the weight. She's 73.
Wow.
And,
wow.
you know, she said, I just feel like I got a new lease on life.
Right.
I don't feel
I bet.
73.
Right.
You know, she runs and she lives. You know, she probably
is
performed better than her
awesome.
grandkids. But
Wow.
just to feel better, I mean, it just, you know, secretes the endorphins. So it just feeling better. It just give you a good, much better, healthier feeling in your mind. You know.
I'm
besides
motivated.
Tuesday.
I'm motivated. Monday is
We're
gonna be
gonna
my
follow
start
up,
day
yeah.
to do. Yeah, definitely
Okay.
the water thing I need to get with because I notice the difference every time. Because I don't like water, I can go a good week, feel good, get all of the positives, and then after that I'm just like, well, just have a little juice or something. As soon as I take that juice to break up the water, now I'm back off.
And it
it's just
changes
hard.
the element. No, it's no longer H2O when you add stuff. You know,
Okay.
unless it's electrolytes, you're
Okay.
adding to it.
Okay.
Because water is H2O. When you change an element to
That's
it,
true.
it changes, you know, the
Now I'm
compound.
hearing my mother with the chemistry. She was a chemist. You said the elements are like all this. Well, thank you so much.
Mama, thank
we
you
appreciate
so
you.
much.
We appreciate
We
you.
really do.
welcome.
Dion and Corey, thank you
Definitely.
again.
Thank you.
And
Thank you. Of course, always, we really, really thank you guys for coming on. They've given you their information. We will put it on our stream. On Facebook, we're Girls Gabbin. On Instagram, we're at Girls Gabbin. Our website is girlsgabbin.com. You can also reach out and touch us individually. Lisa at girlsgabbin.com or Andre at girlsgabbin.com. We thank you all for tuning in.
yes, and next week we will be coming on. I know that there's a game, but
We will be here.
whatever, you know. So
We'll talk about
we are
it.
gonna come. But February is starting the month of Black History Month,
Yeah.
the
And the
Love
month of
Month.
love.
So we do
Yes.
have some things that we're putting together to
Very
make
exciting.
it exciting. So please tune in, and thank you for tuning in today. We appreciate you all.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Have a good evening. See
Have
you
a good
next week.
evening.